Welcome to the Flying P Podcast, Flyers podcast by fans, for fans. Today is October 6th, 2019. My name is John.
I'm hearing impaired. Let's drop the puck. So first and foremost, I think we should comment on the fact that our neighbors got some power tools out, so...
Just drilling away out
drilling
there.
away. You know, we're sitting here trying to do a super serious intro where we're super serious all the time, and
my god,
he's just over here.
This is a professional production.
We are super professional. So, guys, we are men of our word, and this is officially the last podcast. We said last podcast that if the
Flyers lost, and they lost that preseason game,
we would be done. And your first time since 2008 that's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the other team that lost?
Rangers.
It was the Rangers?
It was the Rangers. They got whooped. I think it was 8-4.
I mean, we got whooped the first, 1.5 periods?
Listen, I can't believe it, but I said it you heard it here first. Panic button on Carter Hart. He let in 4 goals, got pulled.
I mean, it is the preseason. That's when they're trying things out. And there's no way that they're going to go hard on a Swedish team in preseason, a game before the regular season starts.
Are you kidding me? We need to flex on them. We got to dunk on them.
We got to
dunk on them. I'm talking balls to the face dunk in their face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a welcome to the jam.
Yeah.
If you want to slam.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Quick sidebar, totally not, but are you excited for Space Jam 2 with LeBron James?
Space Jam 2 is coming out?
With
There's
LeBron
a Space
James.
Jam?
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I can't wait for Space Jam 2 now.
You heard it here first.
I was talking last night about a movie with a friend of mine we play D&D with. He said there's a movie called Goon that I should watch. Have you seen
Goon.
this movie?
Yeah, Goon. I have it. You can borrow it.
Well, it's on Netflix. But
whatever.
How is it?
It's really good. I like it. It's a hockey movie. It's a hockey movie for hockey fans. It's
a comedy, or
yeah, I'd say it's a. I guess you could technically classify it as a romantic comedy hockey movie.
Huh.
Yeah, it's good. I haven't seen the second one, but
I'm a big Mighty Ducks fan. Mighty Ducks fan.
Yeah, so. Absolutely check it out. I'd recommend it to all of our 2 listeners.
He's probably the only listener right now anyways. We've already watched the movie.
You should watch the movie. The one that you recommended to John.
Yeah. So if you're out there, Andy, watch Goon again.
Shout out to Andy. So, hey, I think that it's time to talk about this game. We won!
Flyers Blackhawks. We won.
We won.
All the haters.
All the haters.
See what we did. Game 1 in the bag. That means the rest of the season.
Whoo! Going to the cup.
Yeah.
We're gonna win.
This was basically the cup.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't even have to play another game now.
We can end it here and just be happy.
Yeah, definitely. I think we should.
So
AV's moving the lines around so much, I don't know what's happening.
Oh, right. Do you think he's... we'll get into it. So, first and foremost, Flyers defeated the Blackhawks 4-3. Here's some just basic stats. Flyers outshot the Blackhawks 38-31. They were 1 for 3 on the power play. They had 16 hits, 14 block shots, and 17 giveaways. They were dominant yet again in the faceoff circle with 62%.
Konechny definitely was the MVP of that game.
Absolutely. Konechny going into this offseason with all the contract talk, his main selling point was, hey, I am one of the best even strength forwards in the game. And what did he do? Score 2 goals even strength.
Yeah. Well, I guess it wasn't lying.
Yeah, should have been 3. He should have had 4 points, in my opinion.
He should have just had all the points.
So he missed
just Lindblom and Raffl just, here, take my goal, Konechny.
Yeah. Yeah, so he should have had an assist on Lindblom's goal, in my opinion, because he created it. And he should have had another goal. He missed an empty net.
Yeah, well...
It's hard.
That happens, but...
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he more than made up for it. 2 goals, 3 shots.
Yeah, his first goal was actually unassisted, too.
Unassisted, yep.
While I was watching it, the announcer said the first 3 goals were unassisted. Now, I do believe they changed that after the fact, but it's kind of an interesting stat to have 3 unassisted goals.
Yeah.
Back to back to back.
There were 2. There were 2.
Yeah.
Officially. But I thought that the first 3 were unassisted also. They took away Lindblom's power play goal. They said it wasn't a power play goal, and then they put it back on.
Why?
I don't know.
Just someone's bored somewhere in an office.
Yeah.
Wasn't a power play.
Wasn't a power play.
Get out of here, big O.
Nani?
Nani? Well, Shane, what do you think about Haig having an assist?
I don't really care about Haig at all. You know, it's like, hey man, I mean,
I'm gonna invite him over for a powwow.
I would love to meet him and talk to him and just tell him how much he sucks. I'm just kidding. I'm sure he's a great guy.
You're gonna teach him how to play hockey.
Yeah. Now listen.
Hey, NHL player.
Mildly overweight, never played hockey, but this is what you need to do. It's all in the hips.
Listen to me sit in this chair and tell you what to do.
I'm on a podcast. Is he on a podcast?
That's a good point. He doesn't have a podcast.
Yeah. Do you think he talks about hockey as much as I do? I don't think so.
He probably just wants to get away from hockey. So
yeah, I bet he
goes home and everyone's like, how's your hockey doing?
Shut up, I just want to play Fortnite. Gotta play with my pal Patrick Laine.
Oh, Laine. Didn't they, take away Fortnite from them because they made such a big problem with it?
No, there was another team. I want to say it was the Canucks.
Was it?
There was a team that had Fortnite banned. But, on all seriousness, Laine has a Fortnite problem.
Does he?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Hackstall took away pizza.
What?
The Flyers weren't allowed to eat pizza.
For real?
Under Hackstall's regime, yeah.
God, how are you gonna make shitty lines, questionable moves, and take away pizza? No wonder they
take away pizza. They didn't want to play. Yeah,
I wouldn't want to play.
They're just sneaking pizza slices in the back room,
right?
In the fucking closet.
Yeah, but
pizza.
For all those people that take away I get it. Pizza's bad for you. Ovechkin drinks Coca-Cola. He drinks Coca-Cola in his water bottle during games.
But he's Russian, and he needs...
Phil Kessel drinks soda during games, too.
Well, Phil Kessel, he eats hot dogs during games.
Well, actually, he infuses the hot dogs with Coke and ketchup, and then just snorts them.
Just snorts?
Yeah, the whole dog. He doesn't even cut it up. Man's an animal. So, yeah, absolutely, Konechny was the standout for this game. He was all over the ice. I would say that second line looked fantastic. Now, we didn't get a chance to talk about it on the podcast, but when the lines were released before the game, I think we both looked at that second line and were like, there's some potential there.
There was potential there, but I was also surprised that they took Couturier off of the first line and off of the first power play.
That's what surprised me the most, taking him off of that first power play.
We had this whole build-up and all this time where everyone's talking about how dynamic and great a player like Couturier is next to G. And then they move him and put Hayes there. Now, I get his one game so far,
I mean, so AV has commented a couple times and basically saying that right now, probably for the first quarter of the year, the Philadelphia Flyers and the Phantoms are going to be one cohesive unit.
Yeah, I heard that.
People sent down, they're going to be called up. If we're going to go with the hot hand, and AV does not like changing his lines. So once he finds that combination that he likes, he's going to stick with. It's not going to be a Hackstall situation we had last year where we could just be like, put McDonald on the first line.
McDonald on the first line.
McDonald
center.
Yep.
Giroux's playing goalie.
Cheese goalie. No, we got Steve Mason out of retirement for that $18 million.
Yeah, he came in to play power play quarterback.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. In his goalie year.
Yeah, that's all he's allowed to do. Has to come off the ice right away.
Another surprise for me was Pitlick. I didn't think he was going to be playing.
No, yeah, I thought he was going to miss at least the first game.
He got an assist, too, so immediate impact. I think that the Flyers, all lines played pretty well.
Our depth looked good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is saying something for
that's what we need.
Yeah.
So I think all lines are subject to change going into this next game, except the second line. I mean, Coots, Konechny, Lindblom, oh man, they looked good. They were creating opportunities off the rush. They were creating turnovers. It was just, they were by far the best line for both teams.
Yeah, well, I mean, Couturier, considering Couturier doesn't have the most accurate shot, putting him between Lindblom and Konechny is definitely good for his playmaking side and his defensive capabilities.
Absolutely. And I have a quote here from Konechny. I felt pretty good tonight. But I'm definitely not going to take my foot off the pedal. I still want to prove to the coaching staff that I'm able to play in all situations and limit my mistakes. I've still got a lot of work to do, but it's definitely a good start. This is important here because coming into this year, I think we all know that Konechny has massive defensive flaws.
Yeah, well, that was apparent last season, too.
Now, that's why I think sticking him with Coots is brilliant. We can make the argument that the reason G hits 100 points 2 years ago is because Coots is taking care of the dirty work.
I can see that.
Now, G doesn't need that, but obviously it helps him. So now we're taking our best even strength forward and pairing him with our best defensive forward in Coots. And we're throwing Lindblom, who does all the dirty stuff on the boards, on that line.
I'm a big fan of that.
Me too. Basically, we're just saying, hey, Konechny, do your thing. They'll take care of everything else. You play in the zone that you feel best and score. And that's what he did.
I agree. The lines do look... I mean, well, from a fantasy point of view, it's terrifying.
Yes.
But
Coots owners, I can all totally understand you.
They're all dying on the inside a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's just that first power play. But the first power play line looked like crap.
That's true.
They had one... Like, that first power
Coots
play...
wasn't there, so...
Right. I think even at one point that they just got pulled and the second line...
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, AV pulled them and sent the second line in.
So let's go over those lines real quick. So our first power play line is JVR, Kevin Hayes, Voracek, Giroux, and Ghost. I have a lot of issues with the way this is being done. My main issue is G's not on the left side anymore.
Yeah, I said that in our first episode, I believe, that I don't like G on the right side.
We take away that whole dimension, that whole... how many times have we seen that one-timer from G in the left slot go in? That's his bread and butter.
He was still letting them rip, but they weren't going in.
Right, but it's a better angle on the left side.
Yeah,
and
especially for him.
We have JVR, we're paying him the money, and that's why he's there. But yeah, he didn't have the best game.
I prefer JVR staying net front, taking the deflections.
Yeah,
He's
I
a
like
big
that.
body. He can move guys out of the way.
Yeah, I don't know. That first power play unit did not look good. Now that second power play unit, Lindblom, Coots, Konechny, just basically that line with Matt Niskanen and Provorov. That's our second power play unit.
I like Niskanen there.
I like Niskanen and Provorov together a lot. Niskanen looked pretty good this game too.
It's an odd line because you see defense, sniper, and kind of like an aggressive forechecker.
They were getting it done.
They did.
So what would you do if you're AV, you're looking at this first power play unit and it's not working? How do you fix it?
Well, I'd probably say I'm at practices and I get to see what's actually happening behind the scenes. And then I'd also say, well, it's just the first game.
That's true.
But from taking your question at face value, I'd probably be a little worried that we have G, who's supposed to be a playmaker, Hayes, who's supposed to drive the puck, Gostisbehere, who should be a power play quarterback, right?
He should
and
be.
They're not producing anything at all. While Ivan Provorov, who's not necessarily considered a quarterback, but in this case is in that spot. Niskanen taking over defense, so they're running 2D on power play too.
Maybe 2D is the way to go. I mean, we certainly have enough.
Traditionally it was, but it's been changed. Like, everyone's been running 1D.
Not every team has a plethora of offensive-minded defensemen.
That's
I mean, we have Ghost. I would argue that Provorov has that capability, and Sanheim.
He does. Yeah.
So we have three stellar offensive defensemen. We could totally... I mean, what if you put Sanheim on that top line instead?
In Ghost's place?
No, you keep Ghost, but you put Sanheim there as well.
In place of who?
I would honestly take off...
Voracek or JVR?
Probably JVR.
Yeah.
Because Hayes can just stand in the front.
Yeah.
Or you move Hayes off, and then you keep JVR fourth, because that is his bread and butter. He scored, 35 goals with Toronto?
We know that Jake Voracek and JVR were practicing together.
Yeah.
Right. With Hayes. So it looks like what he's doing with that first power play line is taking that preseason second line and just sticking it in the power play.
Yeah. We'll see.
Because that was the line that was producing.
Absolutely. Which,
And then they put them on the power play, and then, it didn't work.
If you go back to our first episode where we gave you our line combinations, we were wrong. We were very wrong.
I think everyone was wrong.
I think everyone was wrong.
You had to be when they stuck Hayes on the first line and the first power play right out of the gate.
So, let's talk about Hayes. I thought he looked really good. I thought he had a lot of hustle. He was very noticeable to me, and I don't know if that's because I'm hyper-focusing on him since he's the new addition, or because he's making plays.
I think everyone's probably focusing on him a little bit, but he looked fast.
He did.
I know he's not known for that, but he definitely looked fast and, at least agile.
He looked big. He's very, I noticed he uses one hand a lot. One hand to maneuver the puck a lot.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. So, he had a breakaway chance. Overall, I thought he looked really good on the penalty kill also. I liked seeing G and Hayes on that penalty kill.
Yeah, the penalty kill actually was not very, but relatively successful that game.
Other than one blunder.
Something we really need on this team.
We really need. Speaking of that blunder, there's nothing I hate more. John, there's nothing I hate more in hockey than late goals.
Oh, you talking about that second?
Yeah, I'm talking about where Kane's walking up and like, oh, let's all cover Kane, and they leave the brinket wide open.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 16 seconds left. I mean, we dominated, and they let those momentum killing goals. That scares me.
Are we talking about the second period goal or the third period goal?
Second period.
Second period.
Third period goal is inevitable. That's gonna happen.
Yeah, it was disappointing though.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to see them finish it.
It made it kind of fun because I got to sit there and be like, come on, Flyers. Just hold out, and they did a good job of killing time.
I was at work for this game, and I wouldn't have been able to handle it overtime. I had a lot of work, and I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, well, Hart looked pretty good.
I think Hart looked great. I think, so his stat line is a little misleading. So, 3 goals against, 28 saves, .903 save percentage.
It's one game, so there's no other stats to go off of.
So, I would argue that 2 of those 3 goals were out of his control. There's nothing he could have done. The first one I thought was a little weak. There was definitely a screen. Nylander tucked it under Braun and under his feet. It was a sneaky shot, but I still think Hart could have had that one.
It's possible. The Nylander goal was kind of awkward, I think, and he didn't seem like he exactly had eyes on it. No,
yeah, he clearly lost the puck at some point. But if we go back to the late second period power play goal, I mean, DeBrincat is a stellar player, and if you're going to leave him alone in the slot on the power play, then he's going to score.
Yeah, he's going to be good this season.
He's going to be real good this season. And that last goal by Patrick Kane, garbage time goal, but they pulled their goalie. It was a 6-on-5.
Yeah, they pulled him twice. Yeah.
So I don't fault him for 2 of those goals. I think he made a lot of really big saves too. I mean,
he did.
He robbed a couple.
That was important because the saves he did make were very important saves.
Yeah, and those saves give a team momentum. If the Flyers can have confidence in their back end, they're going to play with a certain edge that they didn't have last year. If they know that Hart is the kind of guy that can step up and make those impossible saves, they're going to be more willing to take chances because they know that someone's got their back.
Yeah, they seem like they're playing a little more tactfully. Like they're putting some thought into their play instead of doing that classic Flyers grind through the zone and hope to get the puck in the end.
Yeah, the passing has definitely been improved.
Yeah.
I mean, passing was awful last year. I think passing was just awful under Hackstall.
Yeah, the passing was terrible. Even all the icings that we were going through, it seems like that's a new thing. A lot of the teams I've been watching over the past week have been icing the puck.
That scares me though, because there's a new rule in effect this year where you can choose which face-off circle.
And you can't change the icing team can't change
Their lines. So, I mean, that is a huge tactical advantage. I mean, Blackhawks weren't able to capitalize. There was a couple things that the Blackhawks weren't able to capitalize. We had 17 turnovers.
Yeah, there was plenty of turnovers they could have taken advantage of.
That stat line scares me a little bit. Face-offs are still our bread and butter, and that's great. I love winning face-offs. The more face-offs you win, you win those offensive zones, the defensive zones. It's just Flyers being a good face-off team and hopefully a better defensive team. It'll really click this year, and it should show.
Yeah, Flyers have traditionally been pretty good with face-offs. Even Coots has stepped it up, even though sometimes they'll stick G in instead of Coots. But
well, not anymore.
Yeah, I guess not anymore.
No, but those are... I've said it before, the two center lines, if Hayes gets thrown out, G takes it, That just increases your chance to win.
Yeah, well, they had a lot of blocked shots, too. 13 shots blocked, about 16 high-scoring chances. That Raffle goal, that wraparound.
Woohoo! That was sneaky!
It was sneaky.
Yeah, but
it's a sneaky snake.
Can we talk about that second Konechny goal?
Go for it.
Oh, man. Let me paint a picture in your head. Konechny's skating down the left side of the ice. Does a quick little move. Forehand to backhand. Elevates backhand over the far corner of Crawford. In an impossible spot. Backhanded. Damn, Konechny. Damn. I don't know what else to say. That was
just watching you revel in your glory here.
It was great. It was great. It was great to see. And the fact that I'm not too worried about the fact that the top line wasn't really the focal point. That's okay. We shouldn't we shouldn't count on them to produce all the time. We have our depth players doing stuff now. These are all great things, and I think will lead to more wins in the future.
It kind of brings me to one thing we decided we wanted to do. And that's our GM roast.
A couch GM roast.
Couch GM roast.
So why don't you explain this for everyone?
The whole premise of this is the Flyers fans could be negative at times.
Somewhat unrealistic in expectations.
But, every team has that side of their fan base, right? So we want to bring out some comments from some GMs, and every week we'll mention one or two. And we'll just kind of laugh at them, see if maybe there's some hidden gems, some parts that may actually be have some truth behind them. Yeah,
but maybe some parts won't have any truth in them at all.
But in all honesty, most of this is just focused on making Shane angry. This one's from Ed. I'm not going to say the last names, obviously. This team isn't going anywhere. While every other team in the division did things to improve their team, Chuck Fletcher sat on his hands and did nothing but overspend for Kevin Hayes. Now we are $1.4 million over the cap and don't even have a sniper.
Oh, Ed. So let's start with the one thing that he is correct on.
We don't have a sniper.
I think we slightly overpaid for Hayes, and we don't have a sniper.
But everyone thought we overpaid. That was not a surprise.
Right. So here's my question to you, Ed. What sniper was available? What sniper could we have gotten?
I don't think there was any.
Is Duchesne a sniper?
No.
Is Panarin a sniper?
Not really, no.
Yeah, so the hell's your problem, Ed? Can't just put the only...
What about Bobrovsky? He could have been a sniper.
I still think Steve Mason, 18 mil, left wing.
What's with you and Steve Mason?
I don't know. I just think 18 mil is the magic number.
Back, Shane. He's not coming back.
Come on, man. No, I just... The only sniper that I thought the Flyers could have taken a shot at was Skinner, but Buffalo made it very clear that they are committed to Skinner. I mean, Skinner and Eichel have a connection, and they were not going to let that go. So, we did improve our team. We got a second C. I don't know if you realize that. We got better depth in our defense. Our
depth is so much better.
It is so much better.
Ridiculously better.
Right? We have veteran leadership now on the blue line for all these young guys coming up. And we have room for our prospects to step up and move up. What's the point of having all these shiny new prospects if there's no spots on the team for them to slot into?
Yeah, well, that's a big issue, too. You have all these guys sitting around, nowhere for them to go.
This is just, I have one for you.
Oh, boy.
So this is a comment off of this one really upset me, but I'll leave the floor to you.
Okay.
I truly believe it's the organization overall. They haven't been right since the 2004 Eastern Conference Final against Tampa. Something has cursed the entire organization from top to bottom. And this is from Dan, and I just would like to say that Dan is a top fan.
Oh, he's flashing his badge.
He's flashing
that top fan badge.
So what do you think about us being cursed since the 2004 Eastern Conference Final?
Well, I mean, we've made little strides from that point. I can understand that. We bounce in and out of the playoffs only to exit in the first round. That's fine.
But that hasn't started since 2012.
That's been since 1994.
No, but we've had consecutive playoff years since
Yeah,
then.
there have been consecutive ones, yeah.
I would say Flyers haven't been competitive, a legit contender since 2012. Would you say that the Flyers haven't been a legit contender since 2004?
No. Because 2012.
Yeah.
So 2012 comes after 2004. So
just checking. It's really frustrating because I think people don't understand is that one team wins the cup every year.
Yeah, it's out of 32 teams, going to be 33 teams. So
I mean, I will agree that I don't think the Flyers have always put themselves in the best spot to win that cup.
They were bad for a long stretch of time, which is fine.
Yeah.
But you can't sit there and be like, "Oh, the Flyers suck. I can't watch them anymore."
Just something cursed. We haven't won. We're just something cursed.
Yeah.
There's other 30 teams haven't won either. They're cursed too. We're all cursed.
Where's Kate? All this crap. Like, please, just chill. Just try to be behind your team a little bit.
So you know what I've seen a lot on social media lately?
What?
Leading up to the European game.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wanted that. A lot of people were like, what are we doing in Europe? Nobody cares about... I don't have the comment. But
that was going to be my next comment for you.
Lay it on me. Give it to me.
From Fred. Today's game is a massive waste of time. We should be home preparing for the season opener. Who gives a crap about European hockey?
Who is this?
Fred.
Fred, you're an ignorant puckhole, okay?
Ignorant puckhole. Where does he think half those players come from?
Yeah, it's called the National Hockey League. Not the American Hockey League. National. Everybody.
Many nations.
I just think that is an ignorant comment. I mean, who doesn't want the game of hockey to be spread? The more people who like hockey, the bigger the game gets, the more budget we have, the higher the cap raises, the more teams we get. It's just great for the league. I mean, the NFL's doing the same thing. We're playing games in London.
They're all doing it, yeah. I mean, we had Chris Stewart, right? And I'm not... Just pause right there and say I'm not supporting Chris Stewart on this team.
What do you mean you're not supporting Chris Stewart on this team?
My point is, he was playing in the UK. There's not many hockey leagues in the UK. There's not that many hockey players in the UK, like, that are NHL caliber. And then you have, like, Australians, Japanese. Nazem Kadri, he's Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
Like, they come from everywhere.
And you gotta think, how much talent is lost because there's just not a developmental program there to provide hockey to younger kids to grow.
Yeah, and there's more to be said about that too. Like, if you have underprivileged children that could be doing something far worse with their lives than playing hockey.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, guys, hockey's expensive. This is why I haven't played.
Hockey is expensive, so maybe some of those impoverished kids won't be.
That's their fault.
Most of them like playing soccer, football, I didn't hear you. What did you say?
So that's their fault for being poor then.
Jesus Christ.
How dare you? Born into that.
This GM roast took a big turn for the worst.
I don't condone anything that I say. But no, I just think that how can you say that? How can you just be like, I don't want hockey to be spread?
It's not even that it's like being spread. It's
the energy.
They have their own leagues.
Yeah, the energy for that game was wild. It was sold out. They were loud.
Yeah, Voracek's a star there. He's a celebrity.
Yeah.
As soon as he got off the plane, he had reporters in his face.
You know that trip, that uncalled trip in the first?
The what?
The uncalled trip.
Oh, yeah.
They were.
The whole stadium went nuts.
They were not happy.
Yeah.
So, no, international hockey, I'm all about it.
Yeah, definitely all about it.
Did you hear that the Hockey World Cup might be coming back again?
No, I did not hear that.
Yep. So they haven't worked out the details, but both the Players Association and the commissioner has agreed that it is a valuable property that both parties want to invest in. It's just a matter of working the kinks out. So I don't know when we'll get that again, but that's fun.
I guess we'll see, but I got one more for you.
You got another one for me?
Mm-hmm. Politically correct pussies. No more Broad Street bullies. Go Devils. Sounds like a Fairweather fan. I
don't even really know what to say. I'm just completely dumbfounded.
I mean, he has a top fan badge. This is a.
Ladies and gentlemen, watch out. Top fan here.
Different Ed. Another Ed, but a different Ed.
No, it's the same Ed.
It's the same Ed. All these posts are by Ed. God damn it, Ed.
That Ed is just on fire.
Ed, don't you have something better to do with your life?
Could you repeat that just one more time?
Then sit there and talk about hockey. Repeat it. Politically correct pussies. No more Broad Street bullies. Go Devils.
You know what I think he's touching on? The one thing we're not allowed to talk about.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
We're not talking about that. Yeah. We're not going to touch that subject with a 10-foot pole.
I'm not going to touch it with a bronze pole. Let's move on from there. Let's talk about our upcoming games.
Well, John, I'd love to talk about our upcoming games, but you're too busy being a politically correct pussy, and I just can't concentrate.
Damn it. All right, I'm just going to go. Bye, Shane.
Bye. So, we have 2 games coming up in the week, and they should be good ones. First and foremost, we have our home opener, Wednesday, the 9th at 7:30 p.m. Flyers versus the Devils.
Yeah, in our it was pointed out to me that I got our schedule mixed up on our first podcast. I thought that the Flyers were playing the Devils in the Czech Republic, but they played the Blackhawks. So this is where I was getting that Devils from.
Yeah,
it's because their home opener is against the Devils.
John, we're doing a very important
Even though we were technically the home team.
I need you to pay attention. I need you to focus. All right? No more mistakes.
I'm moving on from that. I don't have any witty banter for you. It's like 10 in the morning.
It's a little bit early, guys.
All right, so...
Devils lost So right now the Devils...
They lost a 4-point lead.
Yeah, so...
It was Winnipeg, but still.
Yeah, but Winnipeg's been up and down. I mean, they're a suspect team this year, in my opinion.
They have no defense beyond Neil Pionk.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So the Devils are 0-1-1 right now. They blew 4-0 lead against Winnipeg.
They sure did.
And they lost in a shootout.
This was the Schneider game, right?
Yeah. So Schneider got hurt. He let 2 goals in. Schneider left the game with, I think, like 2 or 3 minutes into the third. I think he's okay. I think they said it was just cramps, but he was not going to be good to play for their next game.
He needs some milk.
He needs to get back on the ice because their next game they got blown out 7-2 by the Sabres.
Oh, yeah, poor Blackwood.
Yes.
The Sabres look good.
The Sabres look real good.
Who's their new guy? Olofsson?
Mm-hmm.
I grabbed him in our fantasy league.
Did you?
Yeah.
Woo! How's he working out for you?
3 goals and 1 assist in 2 games.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot of teams looking. I mean,
playing with Eichel? Like, wow, he's good, man.
You know who else looks good?
Yeah.
Rangers.
Yeah.
They look pretty good.
They look good, yeah.
And all of their new guys are producing.
Except Kakko.
Yeah. I mean,
well, let's take a step back here and think about the new guys. Because Jack Hughes hasn't done shit. And he's on the 3rd line now.
Yeah, up and down debut for him, for sure. There were some flashes, but I mean...
Yeah. He's a rookie going into the NHL. I get it, but everyone wanted to see Jack Hughes, Jack Hughes blow up.
This is how it always is, though. I mean, there's always the first 2 picks, and then there's an Elias Pettersson that wins the color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
So...
Most points, most power play points, most...
everything else, yeah. So the Devils, going into this year, they made a lot of improvements.
They look so good on paper.
They Yeah, but you know what's still a problem on paper?
What?
Goaltending.
Yeah.
Goaltending.
Or
lack thereof. They chose not to address their goaltending. And I can understand it because you have hope for Snyder. Snyder was really good for them for a while, and when they were a really bad team.
And then he had a whole season, or a whole calendar year's worth of time without a win.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he kept getting hurt. I think he had a couple of groin injuries, and they are really difficult for a goaltender to overcome. I mean, once that groin goes, it's going to get hurt again and again, and then that just affects your mobility. It's key for a goaltender.
Yeah, it's like Elliott and Neuwirth. They always have that abdomen issue, groin issue.
Yeah.
Once that stuff goes, it goes. It goes hard.
It goes real hard. So I honestly... I think the Flyers win this game.
If we can out-defend them, yes, definitely. Because they still have power on that top line.
No, they
have tons of power.
I will say, like, that Winnipeg game, they looked...
They're a glass cannon, basically.
Right. So, with our improved defense and goaltending, and their lack of goaltending, I think... we should win. I think it'll come down to which goaltender plays better, and I'll put my money on Hart all day.
Well, we have a good example of it. Their 7-2 loss to the Sabres. The Sabres have a solid defensive core.
They do. So if they can limit the opportunities, only let a couple in, and capitalize on their mistakes, Flyers should absolutely start this year off 2-0.
Yeah. That game's on the 9th at 7:30, right?
7:30.
All right. What about the next game on the 12th?
So we have Flyers versus the Canucks. The 12th at 10 p.m.
10 p.m. All the Canucks games are very late.
Yeah.
They're West Coast, right?
West Coast, yeah. We should, are you home?
On the 12th?
Yeah.
I should be, yeah.
We should get together. We should watch that one.
All right.
Super cool.
Maybe we'll do a stream.
Yeah, we've been talking about potentially doing like a Twitch stream where we just watch the game.
We can't show the game.
Right, but we will comment on the game.
Copyrights, I don't even know if we can let the sound through or not. I'll have to find out.
Yeah, well, we're also nobody, so...
The hockey guy does it, though. He does live streams of him watching the
game.
game.
Joe Rogan also does his fight things, where he just gets a bunch of people over and they watch the fights as they happen.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just not sure if the sound can go through or not. We're going to have to find out.
Yeah, but also, like... we have 2 listeners, so I don't think we're going to be getting recorded or anything. Maybe we can get away with it for a little bit.
Comcast is our only listener.
Oh, no! And we shit-talk them so bad!
There's some poor lady in Comcast customer service quality assurance, listening.
This Flying P podcast is going down.
Oh, gosh. Monica at Comcast, I'm sorry that you have to listen to our bullshit every week.
So
they're paying her $1 an hour.
Right?
She's up on the very top floor, in a closet.
Yeah, she's just super petty because her life's not very great. So we're going down. This is our life mission.
Their building is a giant middle finger.
Have
you seen it? It looks like
it does.
They're flipping off Philly.
Yeah, they are with their horrible customer service. I had Comcast.
And they made their building bigger than Willie. So.
Oh, God. So, the Canucks. Let's
that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, let's get into the Canucks.
Yeah.
So, again, this is another winless team.
Yeah.
So, Canucks are currently 0-2-0.
And we are not a winless team.
We are 1-0, baby!
100% wins.
100% wins 100% of the time so far.
100% of all of the sometimes.
This is great. I mean, I'm having fun.
Well, they got spanked by Calgary
3-0
last night, Saturday night.
They just haven't had any offense.
No, they haven't.
Where's Pettersson?
Pettersson has not existed.
How's your fantasy team doing?
Terrible.
You have Pettersson, right?
I do have Pettersson, and I keep putting him in and waiting for him to do something, and he doesn't do anything.
No, I think he only had 2 shots on goal or something?
My only producers so far have been Duchesne and Rantanen, and Rantanen has been killing it.
So is Duchesne, man. He's got 5 assists in 2 games. Mm-hmm. I got Hoffman. He had a hattie last night.
I don't have him. So.
That was nice. So, yeah.
I'm not against you either, thank God. Well, I'm against Dan.
Have fun.
Dan Porter's kicking my ass right now. So, he's 100 points ahead of me. My team hasn't done anything except for those couple guys. So.
Yeah, it's slow start.
Yeah, well, I have a lot of rookies, too.
Yeah, you do. You should have a good core going forward.
Yeah, in 5 years.
6 years, maybe. So, yeah, this is a team, they haven't been producing as they should. And, I mean, Canucks have been definitely down in the bottom part of the league for a while.
They haven't, yeah. They have a very strong fan base.
They do.
Very supportive fan base. But they have been struggling for years now.
They really have. And
pretty much ever since they lost Lou.
Yeah, he kind of got chased out of there, if I remember how that happened. He's their best goaltender.
He's one of the best goaltenders.
They're a little butthurt that he didn't retire with them.
Yeah, but I think they still had a little thing for him, though.
Yeah, but
thanks, Lou.
Absolutely, but he, his number, he's retiring as a Panther. And, there's no denying that his glory days were with Vancouver, but I mean, that's the team
but yeah, he was happier in Florida.
It's the team that drafted him. He's still at home there, and he had a really good run. It's a shame. Would like to see him give it another shot. Definitely one of the players that I wish could have won a cup.
Yeah, he should come back 1 year. Just be de facto placed on the best team in the league.
Yeah, like as a backup, right?
Yeah, as their backup goalie or as their equipment manager.
Oh, I mean, Miller's still in the game somehow. He's backing up.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He's so old.
I know.
Pecorine.
Yeah.
Pecorine's
he's like 82, right?
38,000 years old.
At least 82.
He's still good.
Yeah, for now, until he throws out his groin.
He's only got 1 year left on his contract.
There's no way they're signing him.
Saros is the next come up for them. So...
We should win this one also.
We should, but every time we say that, we lose.
Right. Watch the Flyers go 0-2 during this stretch.
Yeah. Well...
You can blame us, guys.
They lost to Edmonton. Elias Pettersson hasn't produced anything. I think only Edler... Who had the goal for their first game? Edler?
I think it was Edler, yeah.
Yeah, so Besser had assist. They're not a very strong team right now. They have guys that can score, but...
This is a sneaky game. I could see this game going either way. They haven't scored yet, but that doesn't mean they're not going to. The pieces are in place for them.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Flyers have a traditional issue with playing poorly against teams they should beat and playing well against teams they should have no business beating.
Yeah, last place in the league, they're going to lose, but they go up against the number one, they're going to play their heart out and win.
Like, last season, the Penguins didn't beat us in a single game.
Not a single game?
Not a single game.
Yeah. I mean, you got to love that outdoor game.
The Stadium Series we won. Yeah.
Finally won an outdoor game.
Usually they only do, the Metro teams for that.
Yeah. So... I could totally... Devils, we should win. Canucks, I think they're going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if we lost that game.
I'd be more concerned about the Devils. I think I have... My opinion's the other way around. I'd be more concerned about the Devils, less concerned about Vancouver.
Gotcha. So who are we looking at over this 2-game stretch? Who do you think is going to shine?
Well, we have to look at Konechny and hope that he continues this production.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one game. We can't get ahead of ourselves, but, I mean, he looked great. He looked real great. 2
even strength goals. He was scoring in the preseason, too. I mean, he's worth every penny at this point.
Absolutely. And I think that he could totally break 30 goals. But, that's going to be tough to do without number one power play time.
I believe in him.
Do you think the lines are going to stay the same going across? Or do you think we're going to see some line changes?
I think they're going to stay until something bad happens.
I agree. I'm a little worried about... JVR, but I'd like to see him get going because he's on that third line, so he should be the biggest mismatch on that line.
Yeah, him and Coots I'm worried about.
I'm not worried about Coots at all.
So I'm worried about him on line too, mostly from a fantasy point of view. I don't even have him on a team.
Yeah.
But I want him, and he's my favorite player.
If we're talking fantasy, sure, but if we're talking actual hockey stuff.
Well, we discussed the second line in the beginning of the podcast, and that kind of changed my opinion on the whole situation. He probably is good on that second line, considering what the second line is and the depth that we need.
Yeah. Yeah, moving him down just makes it so all of our eggs aren't in a basket.
But the JVR thing, that does look a little bad.
But here's the thing. JVR has always been this kind of player. He scores in bunches. He has cold streaks. He has hot streaks. But you can afford to have a player like that when you have depth.
That's true.
And
everything's going to change once Nolan Patrick comes back anyway.
Yeah, that's going to be... But I haven't heard anything on that front.
Yeah, they're not mentioning it at all, but I'm sure he's going to... I mean, you can't just have a second round or a second pick first round and he just disappears.
Yeah, so the last...
I mean, unless his doctor says so.
The last
I guess you can.
Yeah, then you gotta do what you gotta do. They started him on some medication, and I think they're waiting to see if that works, but I wouldn't be surprised if Nolan Patrick at some point this week, if this medication isn't gonna stick, they put him on injury reserve. He'll miss a minimum of 10 games, but...
For just long-term injured reserve.
Yeah, maybe it would be best for him. Like, we can't discredit the severity of what he has. Like this migraine thing, it could be a big deal. So hopefully,
yeah, migraines can be caused by a lot of things, and I'm not gonna mention any kind of ailments that they could be associated with. But
right.
what I mean saying that is we simply don't know.
Right. So if it's looking like he's gonna have to try a couple different medications and it's gonna be a minute, I think long-term injury would be best for him.
But as someone who's not super high on Nolan Patrick, I don't mind. I think Lawton deserves to be on that 3C spot anyway.
Again, we were saying like, man, Lawton really deserves to be on that 3C.
And
now he is.
Next to Tworinsky and JVR. So
yeah, well, that should be a good opportunity for him. And I hope
should be.
Yeah.
He had an assist.
He did. I'm excited. There was a lot of positive, and a couple negatives here, but overall, we won the first game.
Yeah, some of that stuff's gonna be interesting because it is just one game, and we're gonna have to, we have plenty of time. What about Hayes? Especially with Konechny, or not Konechny.
G and Voracek.
Yeah, he's with G and Voracek, but what I mean to say is with Nolan Patrick out, it opens up more space for him to move around. Yeah.
I think that Hayes, I think that top line is going to get a probably minimum of 5 games.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to...
Well, you already said that AV doesn't like to change his lines in the first place.
Well,
so.
He's already admitted that he's not done yet.
Well, I'm sure.
So we're going to get changes,
yeah.
But it's a matter of getting things locked in. I don't know where he goes. That second line being locked in makes it a little more complicated to move Hayes around because now you're kind of like, we got him to be that second C, flex third C, but now he's number one. Number
first
one
C.
Yeah.
So.
And,
and on the top power play.
I don't know if he's ever been on a top line before.
I don't think he has, no. So
this is definitely an interesting experiment, but he passed the eye test. He looked like he belonged on that line.
Yeah.
He was creating opportunities using his body.
We'll see if he can sustain it.
We'll see if he can sustain it. Yeah, I think I want to see G get some points. Absolutely.
Yeah, he had those 4 assists in the preseason, but that's about it so far.
Yeah, so.
For a playmaker, he should definitely have more.
One game, though. One game down.
Play my NHL hockey video game. Call him a playmaker.
Yeah, you get 10 goals a game.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Between the legs, flip over the back of your shoulder.
So bad at that game.
Tackle the goalie. I always try to do that when they blow the whistle.
Yeah.
I just try to check the goalie.
I play threes a lot in that game.
Do you?
Online, it's fun.
I haven't played it in forever anymore.
Yeah. I don't...
PlayStation games cost too much money.
All games cost too much money.
Yeah. That and you try to play online and you gotta pay to win. Their stupid card thing and all that.
It's weird. It's absolutely weird. But we should play some threes sometime.
We should. And I think this ice cream truck is a good sign that we should be getting done here.
Son of a bitch.
You hear it?
Yeah. I can hear.
You can hear?
I can hear.
I thought you were deaf.
What?
Alright, well...
Hold on. Don't cut this out. Leave this in at the end.
Thanks for listening to the Flying Podcast. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Podbean. Soon to be more. Check back later.